Hi, welcome to 10 Minutes with Anthony. My name is Jen Cherney, your host, and the co-host, Anthony Eliopulos, is here as well, of course, because it's 10 Minutes with Anthony.
Yes, also known as Anthony Christopher Eliopulos, ACE, the initials. But we're here once again at Lazy Dog in Stock Island. And one of my real good friends, probably one of my best friends of all time, a guy that I grew up with, I knew him from the time I was in 6th grade, same neighborhood and everything, is actually coming here on Tuesday. And he's a big fan of the show. He always sends me messages and stuff. Very, very proud of him. His name's Philip. Retired from the FBI. Had a big time job with the FBI. Really served this country. Was in Afghanistan and all that. He's actually coming on Tuesday, and he was asking me about some things. And so he was talking about, I'd like to rent a kayak or something like that. So I said, that guy you like so much, that Euro geek, Jan, that I do. Martial arts and stuff, and you are capable of kicking somebody's ass. So I guess that's not like the typical kid that would be living in his parents' basement trading Star Wars cards or something like that. But yeah, so I told him maybe you can, and I think he'd like to meet you and stuff. Maybe you can give him a tour. I said nobody would give a better tour of the mangroves. Maybe you can hook him up with Lazy Dog and all that, and you can take him out and maybe say, hey, stick your hand in that hole over there, where there's that shark and everything.
Well, all depends on the schedule, right? His and mine. So.
I know you're a busy guy, and everything, but I couldn't think of a better guy to give somebody a tour. You almost killed me a couple times out there in the mangroves. So one time I tore my groin out there. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember. That was a couple of years ago, probably.
It's all black and blue.
Yeah.
But yeah, so today, what I wanted to talk about was through the years I've gotten this question, and I recently got it. A lot of guys, whatever they start lifting weights, sometimes it's a self-esteem problem, and they think probably the answer to all their problems, I guess, would be to be big. And that's more of a thing for their psychiatrist or their personal therapist or whatever. But I do get that question all the time. Oh, I want to be big. I want to be big. Guys want to be big, and somehow they think that you're going to walk in someplace and the sea's going to part like the Red Sea, or people are going to buy your drinks or something. Oh, that guy's got big arms. I'm going to buy his drinks. Or, hey, you know what? You don't have to pay your electric bill this month because you got big arms or whatever. It doesn't really work that way. But I kind of understand, but what happens is a lot of times the guys go in the wrong direction, and there's two different characters. Okay, there's the skinny guy that wants to be big, and then there's the somewhat chubby guy that wants to be big. The skinny guy is actually closer to being big than the chubby guy, because I know people don't want to hear this, but you got to get small in order to get big. And, this one guy in particular, doesn't have the greatest physique in the world. He's kind of a chubby guy. And he simultaneously, upon getting a gym membership, got a batch of steroids or whatever to go on. So certainly you're going to gain weight taking steroids and eating and lifting weights, but you certainly aren't gaining muscle. Your arms might be bigger, but it's not shape. It's just minutia, it's just crap. And ultimately you're going to have to go on a diet one way or the other. You want to be lean. You want to be able to show some abs or have some veins in your arms and stuff like that. And if you're chubby or you're not in the greatest shape, and you just pick it up from there and just start getting bigger, well, you're bigger, but you still are just further away from where you really want to be. The guy who's skinny is actually in better position because he can just start eating. I would liken it to if you had a trailer filled with, or a trailer half full with gold and chalk bars, and in the parking lot was just a big pile of gold and chalk bars, and the boss came up to you and said, listen, by the end of the day I want this trailer filled with gold. Get all the chalk out of here. Well, what would everybody else do? They would go in and they'd start immediately taking all the chalk out, right? And seeing what you have in the gold. And then they'd go in the parking lot and they'd start picking the gold out of there and putting that in there. They wouldn't just take that pile of stuff and add it to the pile that's already in the trailer. And that's what happens when you're fat or not, and you just start, you don't even think of a diet. You don't change your diet habits. You just start lifting weights, which is good, but you're taking steroids and you're getting bigger. You're just adding to and getting further away from where you really need to be. And, so what you have to do is sooner or later, you have to figure out how to diet. So it's best to, yes, lift weights and you diet down and you get to where what you're gaining is it's retainable. It's not just salt and water and extra fat and stuff, because probably you're actually getting fatter. And what I would say to that skinny guy that wants to get big is I would say get on, eat very healthy and eat. And I don't mean like Burger King and things like that. I mean healthy, and you train hard and you keep watching that scale. And I'm assuming this guy has some form of abs, this skinny guy to begin with. And you keep watching that scale and you see if it's going up, and then you're watching your abs at the same time. When those abs start to disappear a little bit, then you start dieting down till they reappear. As soon as they reappear, you get right back on that thing of eating. And I'm talking about like eating clean, where you'd have your chicken, instead of your chicken, your rice and your broccoli, you might throw some regular potatoes in there too. And then if you hit all your meals at the end of the night, hit the McDonald's or the Burger King or hit the ice cream and everything. You're keeping, it doesn't, you're trying to get bigger that way, but you're watching your abs so you're not getting fatter. The minute you start to see the fat come on, then back to a diet. And I would do that a couple times a year. And then one good time, I would go on a real strict type, almost bodybuilding diet, 12 weeks or something like that, where you really, really bring it down. And then when you're done with that diet, you see what you really gained with that going up and down. When you do that, really, that's when you know what you have, is when you really bring it down with the strict diet. That would be my thing with that. But not the approach of, hey, I'm fat and I've never lifted weights before, but I'm just going to go on steroids and start lifting weights and have no idea what I'm doing with anything. You're asking for health problems that way. I mean, it's steroids are, well, one, in our country they're illegal, but two, they're only an icing on the cake. They're not the cake. You have to have a nice cake all made and everything, and then that's if not, it's just you're just eating something green that says happy 32nd birthday or something like that. It's just the icing. So that's my advice to you who want to get big. I want to get big, man. What's it like to be big, man? It's like, it's great, man. Girls take off their clothes in front of me. People pay my electric bill. I haven't paid rent in 16 years. I mean, all I got to do is just walk around. They just part like the open seas.
I see you do want somebody to pay your electric bill. I mean, that's the main thing. Main point of the conversation here.
It would help.
You must have a huge electric bill.
No, it's actually not too bad, really. And it's funny because down here, I don't think I run the AC down here 12 months out of the year. And this time of year, I don't think it ever turns off. It just keeps going. I was always a guy, when I lived in a house and stuff, I'd always set that AC at 79, and I would almost like put my kids in a closet with bread and water if they ever thought about touching it. They never came in because they were so, get the hell away from that air conditioner, what the hell? But now, the woman I live with has that thing set like on 76 or something like that, and that damn thing never shuts off. I'm like, man, will that AC ever shut off? It just runs. But it's actually not for down. I think my electric bill was the highest it's been this past month. It was like 146. And so it's actually not that bad here. I mean, it seems like in Orlando I had like high $200 electric bills. I mean, not that that has anything to do with bodybuilding, but called me up today about setting this up, and I told you I was really depleted and everything. Have I kind of given you some energy today a little bit? Did I suck it up and give you some energy? Because I'm real depleted from the contest diet. I'm sure my arms kind of look like noodles.
Yeah, from the conversation, it's you behaving totally normal.
And I'm starting to get angry a little bit, thinking about who I want to punch in the face this week. And so this week's installment of Would I Ever Stop Punching Him in the Face is when I was a kid, okay, I was coming off that, I was born in 68, so my first memories kind of were still the end of the hippie age, and I think Earth Day came about like 1970. And when I was a kid, there started to be more of an awareness of pollution and good things, not polluting the earth and not, throwing your trash out of the car and doing things like that. And there used to be a commercial that, whatever Eastern Bloc, that they learned from the Germans, mental stuff that they do for commercials is still in my head to this day from the early 70s. But I always remember a car driving by and they throw this trash out and it lands right on the feet of, well, back then we used to say an Indian, and then it became a Native American, and I think it's now an indigenous person. But an Indian, guy, and they had him dressed in chief suit or whatever. And he's very upset to see what they've done to his earth, and that trash lands on his feet, and he kind of looks at the camera and a tear comes down from his eye. And I still remember that, and I'm sure people my age, everybody remembers that thing. So in this day, and a good thing about that is, in this day and age, people might throw trash out of their car, but usually they do it in the middle of the night or something like that. They're not doing it in front of people, Everybody, I think, realizes that it's not real cool to throw a bag of your Crystal Burgers or whatever out of the window. And I'm glad it's not. And I think I think I've yelled at people before for throwing up trash, and I've picked up people's trash and stuff like that. It's just not cool. And I think but most people know that now. However, there seems to be this phenomena with these smokers that I see all the time, and they're constantly flicking these they smoke, and there's cigarette. I can see cigarette butts all over here. I don't understand, how is that cool? You certainly wouldn't throw a bag of trash out of your car or whatever.
It's just convenient. It's just convenient.
I don't get it. And those guys that do that, those guys that smoke those death sticks, even though they're told not to, for years now they've been told not to. It's not something new. They constantly do that, and I don't know if it would be to the extreme of where I would ever stop punching him in the face, but there'd be a pretty good rhythm section of on their face. It's like, dude, stop. What's the deal, man? Put that in the trash. I guess you can't put it in the trash because it might start a fire or something, but you can put that thing out and then trash it later. I don't understand. I see people just in broad daylight throwing cigarette butts out of the car all the time, man. What's the deal with that? Is that a Czech thing?
Yeah, it's probably some European thing,
Did you ever smoke?
No.
If you did, I bet you would hold a cigarette like this, like there's, like this is the American way, right? And then in this, kind of like a European.
Yeah, kind of like that, yeah. No, never liked it, always hated it.
But I've been trying to quit for years, but no, I was just kidding. I don't smoke.
You must be doing it secretly. I never seen you doing it.
No, I don't smoke, but I'm such a degenerate bodybuilder that at one time, when I was dieting, to curb my hunger feelings, I almost purchased nicotine gum, because nicotine is an appetite suppressant. Yeah. And so I almost did that. I was like, I was even researching, you got to chew half a cup, chew half a one or whatever. Yeah. Just because I was such a degenerate bodybuilder. I guess I still am, that here I am still competing, but just to do anything to be able to get through the diet. I'm glad I didn't, because that's probably one extra bad habit that I don't need. But it would be I'd be one of those vapors,
Yeah.
and it'd be like other smokers would be like, "Hey man, how long did you smoke before you quit?" Well, I never smoked, sir. I got addicted to nicotine gum, the thing that you're supposed to get off of cigarettes. I get addicted to that because I'm a degenerate dieter. So I got hooked on nicotine gum, the first of my kind. Now I got this vape pipe. It comes out of the car, it looks like the first time I saw that, I thought the car in front of me was overheating. And it was just some dude with a vape pipe.
Oh.
So,
Yeah,
or Cheech and Chong.
It's unfortunately it's very very common, and it seems like young people are doing a lot of it exactly the way you said it. Just without not even starting cigarettes, just going straight for a vaping crap.
Yeah. Look cool, man. That cool looking vape, it's got the metal on there. It looks like something much more illegal would be coming through there than nicotine oil or whatever is in there. But that's pretty much all I have from Lazy Dog. And hopefully I can get rid of this beard soon. You'll give me the okay. I can shave this beard and look a little bit more clean cut. But sometimes I like to grow a beard when I'm getting ready for contest, because my face looks so bad, when I'm suffering.
Mm-hmm.
I look like I've been in a prison camp or something, and or in somebody's basement or something, being tortured for some dude with leather in his face and a chainsaw.
That's it. That's just the face, though. Body doesn't look like it's been tortured for freaking months.
But it all comes out in my face, just like in my eyes and stuff. So sometimes I grow a beard just to not show that. But no matter what, I mean, it's weird, like you can hide a lot of things, but you can't. Your face and your eyes don't hide stuff, I mean, and if some of my most success I had bodybuilding, your body looks great or whatever, but if you look at my face, I mean, I look like, like I just, saw the Kraken or something, coming up, or something, I just stumbled upon the Manson murders or something. That's what my face looks like,
This next few days, we're gonna finish wrapping up the movie, and one more time, we're gonna show it on July 2nd at 9 p.m. at Shanaki here in Key West. We're gonna do the screening of the movie, A Bag Full of Money. But yeah, everybody can come to see the movie.
Yes, I think they have I can live vicariously through you as you eat that. Those Reuben sandwiches. Oh, how I loved corned beef back in the day. I love Reuben sandwich, corned beef. Corned beef was always one of my favorite foods of all time.
Yeah, my guilty food is a burger from Burger King. It's just half a mile from here.
Right, well, we'll see ya.
See ya.